Hi, I'm John DiNicola, Product Specialist with Behringer, and I'm here at Sweetwater today to talk about the X32 Producer. The X32 Producer is the rack-mountable version of the X32 digital console. So we have a full 32-channel, 16-bus digital console in a 19-inch rack mount form, still with motorized faders and controls right on the surface here. So let's take a look at the layout of the X32 Producer. We have 17 motorized faders, divided basically, we have 8 faders for our inputs, 8 faders for our outputs, and of course a master fader on the right here. So looking at the left side, we have channels 1 through 8, 9 through 16, and so on the left side. And then on the right side, we access our 8 DCA groups, our bus masters for bus 1 through 8, 9 through 16, and our matrix mixes over here. So we select the channel, and we can see that whatever channel is selected, we have access to some channel strip controls here. And the X32 Producer features a full channel strip with gate dynamics, EQ. So you can see we have some controls for those right here. For example, we start with our mic preamp gain, 48-volt phase switch, high pass or a low cut filter. And we even have the frequency etched right here. So you can actually set this up without even looking at that screen. You can just engage that and dial in your low cut. Moving on, we also have our gate section here, and just like on the original X32, we have our view buttons here. So if I'm looking to set up my gate, I can go ahead and turn it on. I can press the view button, and now I have the gate screen come up where all my other options pop up besides the threshold of the gate. The same thing goes for the compressor, which is next in the channel strip. I can engage that, press the view button here, and all my settings for the compressor will come up right here. Also in the channel strip, we have a 4-band parametric EQ, so I can press view and that will pop up on the screen with a nice visual. It'll also show your low cut along with the 4-band parametric, so you can see how that's interacting with your EQ settings. So we have encoders here for gain, frequency, and Q. So I can select a band, adjust the gain, and of course I do need to engage the EQ to turn it on. You'll know it's working when it turns that orange color here. So I can turn that on, I can adjust the frequency, sweep it, adjust the Q, and then we have different modes that we can switch through, different kinds of parametric modes. You can use shelving, parametric, or a high cut, and you can use the mode button here to cycle between those. So that's the parametric EQ. You'll notice that we just have a little section here labeled bus send. We don't have dedicated bus send encoders here to save on some space, but if you press view right here, you basically have the same thing that you would have on the X32. You have 4 encoders at a time that can control your bus sends. Now, since you have the motorized faders, you can also control that using our sends on fader mode right here. So I can press on sends on fader. I can select the mix bus on the right side of the console, and I can use the faders on the left side to send different channels to that mix bus. I can also select the channel on the left side, and then I can use the bus masters to determine which buses that channel is going to. So a variety of different ways we can set up our different mix buses here, aside from the channel strip. After that, we have the main bus section here where we can engage the mono bus and send a separate level to that. And we have our panning knob and our main left-right bus engage or disengage button here. So that's the channel strip on the X32 Producer, and moving just over to the right, you'll notice that we have 8 assignable buttons here. So these are completely user assignable. We see this one's blinking here. We have it set up for a tap delay, but these can do a variety of different functions, whether it be scene loads, mutes, jumping to certain screens, for example, maybe your graphic EQ. So you can assign 8 different functions here, again, by pressing the view button, going onto the screen, and assigning those there. Also on the X32 Producer, we have a full-featured 8 stereo effects slot effects processor here. So we can just press the effects button, and we have access to our 8 different effects slots. That's where our graphic EQs live. We also have a variety of reverb and delay plugins and many more to check out. So that's basically the surface of the X32 Producer. So taking a look around the back side, we'll notice that we have a pretty comprehensive I/O on the back. We start out with 16 Midas designed mic preamps. We also have 8 XLR outputs, so it's basically 16 by 8, but we also provide a bank of 6 auxiliary inputs and outputs, and those are on 1/4-inch balanced jacks. So what's cool about that is you can use them for a variety of different things. Maybe you know, in a studio scenario, you have that favorite outboard piece of gear you want to integrate. You can use these auxiliaries as an insert point. So I can come out of aux output 1 and come back into aux input 1, and I can insert that on any of my channels. You can also use these just for extra inputs in a pinch. Maybe you're using all of your XLR inputs and you need to get some extra 1/4-inch ins there. You can go ahead and do that, and they can be assigned to channels. Again, same thing applies to outputs. If you need some extra outputs, you can assign any signal, the same amount of signals that you can do on the XLR outputs, those signals can all go to the 1/4-inch outputs as well. So it just adds another layer of flexibility. So being that this is the X32, just like the rest of the X32 family, it is a 32-channel mixer. So how do we get there? We have 16 inputs on XLR here on the back, but we also have 2 AES-50 ports on the back, and these can connect directly to the S16 digital stage box, which provides you with 16 additional mic preamps and 8 additional outputs. You can also use these ports to interface with other X32 consoles. So if you can split off audio that's plugged into another X32 into here, and you could add channels in that way as well. And that is all determined from what inputs you're using. That's all determined here on this routing page, where you can select in banks here what inputs you'd like to use. So it's a full 32-channel mixer in that sense. And in addition to the AES-50 ports, we also have the alternate out port here. And that interfaces with our P16 personal monitoring system. A really great solution for both live and in the studio. Gives the musician the opportunity to dial in their own mix on their own personal mixer. And all you need to do is plug your P16M mixer right into here, and you're good to go. You don't need any other interface card or anything like that. So that's included in here as well. And of course, we include a 32 by 32 USB multi-channel interface on the X32 Producer in the expansion card slot to make this a fully integratable studio solution as well as a live solution. So just to wrap things up, this is the X32 Producer. It's the full X32 32-channel digital console in a 19-inch rack-mountable size here, fully portable and powerful. For more information, contact your Sweetwater sales engineer.